Hey guys, EBPMAN here. Now in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a brand new electric bike that we're just reviewing on the channel. This bike looks incredible, is packed with power, and it's going to take you 48 miles using electric power. Keep in mind, it's human power too, so you can go even further. Let's check out the HeyBike Mars. Now the HeyBike Mars is a fantastic looking bike. I'm telling you, this thing looks fantastic. I love the treatment, the black and the red. Just the overall look of the bike looks like it's a tough bike. It's like a bike that's really to take on the road. And it's going to be able to support a wide variety of people no matter what body type you have. Because check out this range. From 5'3" all the way up to someone 6'3" in height. All the way up to 330 pounds. So that's going to give you a lot of flexibility. Now I'm 170 and this thing was just really moving really fast with my weight, and it could support someone that's even heavier. Now it has a 500 watt brushless motor that's going to be packed with power, and it's going to help you to go real fast. Now charging the motor or charging the battery is going to be around 6 hours. Max speed of 20, and I was easy hitting the 20, sometimes even going above it depending on if I was in a flat, depending on the wind here in Chicago, because it's kind of winter, and you can tell by my voice I'm a little hoarse right now, that the speed is going to be something that will definitely hit that 20 mark or even beyond depending on your weight. Now you're going to get up to 48-mile range, and this is electric. This is electric, 48 miles. So you're pedaling on this thing. So you have either the human body that's powering it, or you actually have the electric. So you can use this like if it was an electric scooter or an electric bike. So depending on your use case, you'll probably be able to get a lot further. Now it does have a display that's going to be able to tell you about the time, the speed, your battery level, your assist level, because you can have up to 3 levels of assist that are going to basically assist you when you're pedaling. Now you do have an odometer. You have also the watt output as well. It is cadence sensing, so that means that as soon as you start pedaling, this thing knows that you're pedaling, and it gives you superpowers. Literally, that's the only way I can describe it. It gives you superpowers, so you're just able to go like sometimes faster than you would like. So you have to be careful with this thing. Now, it does have thumb throttle. So just like a scooter, you can actually throttle and it will basically move forward. So you don't have to pedal. You can actually just use it like if it was a scooter as well. Now, obviously, if you do run out of power, again, 48 miles, but let's say you do happen to run out of power because you neglected to charge it, you can pedal just like a normal bike would be, because it is a normal bike. It just has power assisted technology. Now, so again, you have the human factor and then you have the electric factor. It does have front shocks, and this is something that makes this thing riding superb. The shock system in the front is something that you can adjust to have maybe a little bit more tense or a little bit soft. Out of the box, I was very satisfied with the riding experience. And then it's also IPX4 rated. So if you are basically get caught in the rain or caught in the snow in my case, you don't have to worry, IPX4 rated. Now, we talked about it being a regular bike too. It has a 7-speed Shimano system, right? So you're able to just push each one of the different steps, push another button to go down a couple gears, and it's gonna just, if you're using it as a normal bike, you'll be able to ride it like if it was a normal bike. Now, I tend to ride on the hardest gear, especially when I'm using power assist, because I don't like my feet kind of traveling too fast. So 7-speed, it's something that you could do either as a bike on its own, or you can combine it with the pedal assist. Either way, it's super easy to access and super easy to control. Now, the one thing that I really love about these bikes, and if you notice we've been reviewing these types of bikes on the channel, is the tires. This has 20-inch, 4-inch flat run flat tires. Or not run flat. They're basically puncture resistant tires. So these are the fat boy tires, right? They're thicker. They give you better, I would say, grip or traction. Very, very comfortable, right? Very comfortable to ride in because of the actual how wide the tire is. And then it's going to give you, again, that puncture resistance that's going to give you peace of mind so that you don't have to worry about getting it flat. But again, tires are fantastic as well. Now, one other thing about the bike is that the bike does weigh 66 pounds. And you may be asking, why is that important to know? I'm going to be riding the bike. Well, the bike folds. It folds in half. So it has a couple areas that you can actually collapse the bike without any tools required and fold it in half. And it has even a built-in handle. That's something I haven't seen in a bike yet. So the fact that it folds and then it has a handle that you can grip it. So if you are going to take it on public transportation, bus or train, you can actually move it relatively easy. 66 pounds isn't really too much to carry, especially because of how the tires are positioned and the way that you can rest it. So built-in handle, 66 pounds, foldable, no tools required. Let's go ahead and take a closer look. Now, one of the things I really like about this bike is how rugged and well built it looks. And it doesn't end with the looks. It actually rides extremely well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at all the features closer up so that you can see why you'd want to consider this bike. But, you know, from an aesthetic perspective, this is a tough, looking bike. This is the kind of bike that will turn heads, as I mentioned, but it's going to turn it because of how well constructed it is. Now guys, we're gonna go ahead and take a closer look at the HeyBike, but we're gonna do this from inside my home. As you guys can hear, I'm still recovering from this cold. And even though it's a little bit warmer outside in Chicago, I wanna make sure that I don't get any worse from a voice perspective. So first thing let's take a look at is the actual construction. I wanted to highlight certain features that I think are stand out, and then we'll take a look at some of the mechanics. Now the very first thing we're gonna take a look at is the battery itself. The battery does have a locking mechanism right here, so you can turn this on and off. And it's not going to prevent anybody from riding away with the bike, but it will prevent anybody from using the power assist technology. So this is something that I would highly advise that you, remove the key and take that with you. It does have a little handle that allows you to take this out and bring it with you either into the workplace or let's say, for example, if you have this in the garage and you want to be able to take it in the house to charge, you can do that as well. Now, at first, as soon as you lift up the handle, you could be asking yourself, how do I get this thing out? Well, pretty great design here. It has a little lever right here that you push this up like this, and then it allows this to come out. Now, this will clear this. It doesn't look like it will, but this is not really touching it. So all you have to do is pull the battery up to remove it. And it also does have a fuel gauge right here that's going to tell you how much power you have in the battery, right? And if there's any juice left. Now to check the battery level of the bike, all you have to do is press this button right here, and then it's going to tell you how much power you have. And I have this right now fully charged. The adjustment of the seat, and what I really like about the bike is that as you're riding it, you really don't need any tools whatsoever to adjust anything that has to do with the bike. All you have to do is if you want to change the seat level, you just open this up, and then you're able to move it up and down. It does have kind of like this little area right here that has this little bushing area. It doesn't really have a shock itself in this area, but it does adjust with the treatment that you see here. So it's just to follow this kind of look. Over here, you do have some shock absorption, and that's going to give you a better ride. So the seat itself has a shock, and it's also a really wide seat that makes it very, very comfortable. Now, as you take a look at the rest of the frame, I love the fact that these mud guards that you have in the back here are going to give you a lot of protection when it comes from dirt and being lifted. They don't rattle. They are made out of plastic, so they're not made out of aluminum. But what I like about it also is that because they're made out of plastic, they're lightweight, and also they will not rust. So you don't have to worry about rust or having to paint it. No rattling whatsoever, and this gets pre-installed. The rack that you have behind here is also a great rack. We use our electric devices to go to the grocery store, and I love the fact that I can actually tie things down on the back and take it with me. This does have support for a front rack as well. We didn't get it as part of the review. I would have loved to have that to show you, but maybe in another video as we'll show something like that. But it's going to give you the ability to carry groceries in front and the back. But this one in the back, I believe it's rated up to 100 pounds in the back, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, the other thing that has stand out for me is the tires, and we did talk about how the tires give you a really nice ride, very nice experience. The tires are puncture proof or puncture resistant as we mentioned, and then the kickstand is pretty generous. This is a really nice kickstand, easy to kick down, easy to put back up. And then as you can see from the frame perspective over here, all the welding, everything is really, really meticulously done. It's nicely done. In the box, no scratches, no dents, no defects. Everything was in place. Really, really nice cable management. All I had to do was put in the seat, the steering column, charge it, and go. Now, the other thing I'll highlight is the built-in handle. This area right here. When you fold the bike in, you can see this is the kind of the folding point. When it folds, this really makes it really easy to take this bike, lift it, and move it around. Love the convenience of having this and how it's not super obvious. It's very well designed as it's part of the frame, but it gives you something to hold onto the bike when you're moving it around. Now, in the back of the bike, you do have an LED light, which is really nice. I have the lights on now, and you can see how well it illuminates. On the side, you'll see the gear system, the chain. I actually like the treatment that you have in colors here. Again, very well designed, and this isn't by mistake, because as you'll see other parts of the bike actually have this kind of like unfinished chrome look. Not only does the chain, but you'll see some of the levers that you'll use to collapse the bike are also, and you can see it over there in the corner. So I like the way it's kind of been designed that way. The gear system is a Shimano gear system. Sounds like a normal bike. Listen to this. Hear that? Sounds like a bike. Rides like a bike, but then you have this power assist technology. And basically what it means, as soon as you hit that pedal, it's going to leap forward because the actual, that brushless motor that's inside of here is actually going to propel you. So you get a lot more speed, less effort, but you still have the convenience of having a standard bike. Now, one other thing I'll highlight is this part right here. Watch, this is the kind of like the locking mechanism. You notice how it popped out a little bit? This right now is the on mode. So this is going to allow you to turn on the actual bike. Notice how it pops in, right? When you turn it off. Now the charging brick is relatively large, and you can see it right here. It's a big boy, right? Very, very large. And you'll notice that the actual charging point is also pretty large. You'll find the charging port right here. All you have to do is move this flap right here, and then that's where the charging area is. Now to fold the bike, it's pretty straightforward, and you're gonna find that all of the areas that I would say are critical areas that fold are gonna have kind of a lock mechanism. All you do is push this forward right here, and then you're able to unlock, and then you're able to unlock this area here. So you just do it like that, and it opens up. So this is gonna prevent the bike from unlocking by mistake. Once you do that, the bike will fold this way. Now, once you fold the bike, you'll notice that it's literally cut in half. You do have the ability to fold this down, so if you want to put this in a car, it makes it a lot easier. If you're going to take it on a train, all you have to do is grab the actual handle right here and take it with you. It just makes it really, really convenient. Now, the bike does have a front-facing light, which I believe is bright enough for me. I've actually ridden this at night, and you can see how bright that is right there. I wouldn't add another one, but I do know of a lot of my friends that have electric bikes that actually get a larger light. For me, in my vision, this is more than enough. Now, it also does have an electric horn, which is loud. Check this out. It's pretty loud. I like not having a little bell. This is loud. So I appreciate having that. And it's also easily to access on the steering column. Now, the front fork suspension system does have adjustment where you can adjust how, I would say, stiff or how much suspension you get or how much give you get when you're riding the bike. I've made some changes to see what the experience is. I've noticed a slight difference, not significant difference, but this is something that you can adjust to your preference. Now, in the front of the bike, you're going to notice that there's these mounting positions. This is if you were to select to get that optional front rack as well. I like being able to carry groceries in front and in back as we're getting things. We go with 2 bikes or 2 scooters when we go, but still having the convenience of having that front rack is also pretty solid. Now, so far, I haven't had many complaints about the bike or any at all because I really like this product. If there was one, is I wish there was a way or to do something about the cable management. They did a really nice job about keeping things in this sleeve, but I don't like how far away it is from this. It kind of stands out a lot. I wish there was something that, you can just tie it a little bit closer, but it wouldn't affect the steering. Everything else, the cable management, if you look at it, is really nicely done throughout the entire bike. This is just a little odd to me. Has some, some zip ties here. I don't know if there's something that you could do about this. Now, this is the other area that you could use to actually shut down or actually fold the actual handlebar. So all you do is you push this up right here like we did with the other one. It opens up, right, that area. And then what ends up happening is this will fold this way. So when you're looking to collapse the bike in its smallest, I would say most compact form, you would fold it in half and you would do the same thing here with this. So this would get it out of the way. Now the information display is pretty easy to read. You notice you have distance traveled, you also have your speed, you have your gear. You can enable a little light so that you can see what's going on, especially if you're in a dark area, and you can see how that lit up. You can move from gear to gear, right? Just over here, trip, time, right? Power, so you get all these different readouts as you're riding the bike. And you can change it from MPH to kilometers as well. It's just, again, very informative, easy to ride, just easy overall. The experience has just been super positive. Now, one other secret feature I just want to highlight is this area right here that you'll miss, right? Notice it's not there, but once you pull this up, what you have here is the ability to charge via USB-A any of your devices, especially if you basically you take the battery out, you can use this as a super duper giant battery pack. Pretty cool.
All right, guys, so we're here riding on the Mars bike, and I'm just going to share with you my overall experience of riding the bike. First of all, I have to say that I love the fat tires. The fat tire experience, I'm saying, when biking, just gives you so much more stability, makes it so much more fun to ride a bike than having the thin tire. So they had me as soon as I unboxed this bike and I saw that it had the fat tires. Now, from overall ride, you have great suspension. The suspension in the front, this is a really nice job. It does have an adjustable suspension in the front that allows you to control, once again, kind of like the overall impact of the ride. I find it really soft and cushiony. The seat itself does also have some support, and it also gives you a great experience when it comes to dealing with any kind of harsh bumps that you may have in the back. Now, right now I'm cruising pretty slow. I have it like on an EV mode, so I'm using the thumb dial. So when you set the scooter to specific speeds, either a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 0, you're gonna get different experiences. So like, for example, I'm gonna go ahead and switch this down all the way down to a 0. And what you'll notice is that I'm right now pedaling. So this is 100% human powered pedaling, right? So this is as if you would use it as a normal bike. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to level 2, or actually level 1, and then as I'm doing level 1, I'm actually now using the throttle on the side to control the speed. And the speed, right now, it's 11 miles an hour, right? I'm gonna switch to level 2, and now it's going, I'm using the thumb throttle, it's going 15 miles an hour, 15, actually 16. Now keep in mind that I'm around 170, 180, and this is the kind of speed I'm getting, and there's a lot of wind in Chicago right now. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to level 3, or the third level. And now this should be the fastest speed, and I'm literally using it as if it were a scooter. So all I'm doing right now is just pressing the throttle, the thumb throttle down, and it's just 20.4 miles is what I was able to pick up right then and there. So that was pretty good from a speed perspective. Now the pedal assist is pretty spot on. I love the kind of power, but I'll tell you, if you do pick up this bike or any kind of e-bike that does have pedal assist, the one thing that you should be aware of is that it takes very little effort to get the bike going. So what I like doing is, especially since this is a 7-speed bike, I like basically putting it on one of the highest gears that's going to give me the most tension when I pedal. That way I'm not just like flailing in the air as I'm pedaling. Overall, again, great suspension, great handling. The braking system is responsive, so you can see right here how I just slowed down. I don't really feel any jerking or sudden stops. The display that I can see here on the side is very legible, right? So I can see it, it's easy to read. I can see my current speed, I see the battery level, and then I also then see, what mode I'm in when it comes to passive assistance. You do have a horn, and it's a nice size horn. People even across the street notice the sound. And it does have kind of like that traditional bike feel and also sound. It's, I listen to the kind of like the sound coming from the gears in the back, where I can like push my feet back, pull it back, and you can hear kind of like if you were running a normal 10-speed bike, but this one actually is a 7-speed. Wow, this is great. This is great. Let's go ahead and increase, go to the next gear. All right, so that is too light for me, I'll tell you. So what we're gonna do is go all the way back. That's about it. So overall, what I would say from a ride experience, like one of the things that I would change, if there's something that I could complain about, is the fact that I can't get it to a tough enough gear where I have to put in a lot of effort. So I'm gonna go ahead and reduce the actual power, right, to 0. And now this is good, right? So this is, I can feel that I am struggling with it, which is something that I like. But one of the things I really wish is that I could have a little bit more heavier pedaling when I'm in the highest gear. right? So that you can get more of a workout.
So guys, that wraps up our review of the Mars HeyBike. Great bike. You know what? If you made it this far in the video, buy the thing. If you're looking for a bike, great buy. It's a fantastic experience. I love the cargo solutions that come with it. It's just a fantastic bike. You got to check it out.